Hey everyone, it's Lainey. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. Did you catch the video where I made this shirt? I posted this on Instagram the other day. I am loving it and literally I've been wearing it pretty much every day. I'm just loving this puff vinyl. So if you didn't catch this video, I will link it down below for you in the description box. Just go all the way down to the bottom and you'll see other videos of mine that I have provided for you to watch after you watch this one. Alright everyone, so this is Christmas crafting, a little bit of vinyl crafts with my Cricut, sublimation, infusible ink, kind of go hand in hand. What else do we got? Oh man, gift tags and bags. It's definitely not going to make one video because it's going to be too long, so I think I'm going to do this a part 1 and a part 2, but I already have a Christmas video out for home decor. So there's a lot going on this month during Christmas, so be sure to subscribe and let's go ahead and get started. So for the first craft here, I'm using these acrylic blanks. They are gold scalloped acrylic tags and it was $3.79 and they are quite big in size, as you can see. I've already taken the film off of these two so you can kind of see the difference there. This is more dull and these are shiny. That is why. It does have the protector film on both sides. And what I am doing is using this Cricut foil. It came in a variety pack. I've had it for a while and it's not the most easy to weed. And I left just a little bit over here so you can kind of see. It's hard to get started. And you hear the cracking. So it's a foil. It is just a different material that you're working with. So before you go out and buy this, just note that it can be a little tricky, difficult, a little stinker, what have you. But it really makes for a nice vinyl. Look at that. So pretty on top of this gold as well. So what I am doing is creating gift tags, but I decided to put the people's that I'm gifting these to, their initials on it in a Christmas themed design, so they can also use this maybe as an ornament for their Christmas tree. If they have an individual Christmas tree in their bedrooms, like a small one, that would still work. Or, you know, on their regular large Christmas tree in their living room. So I'm hoping that they like it, but I'll probably have to tell them that it's a dual gift. Okay, so just using my transfer tape that is from Amazon. I've been using it for over a year now and overall it's great. It doesn't pair well with this foil in particular, but this is all the transfer tape I have left actually, because it is my favorite. It just doesn't really want to work with this. I think you need a strong grip transfer tape for this foil to really adhere to the transfer tape. So what I'm going to do is just really burnish this down, lots of pressure on both sides, and then we'll get them placed on our ornament. And I pulled some chiffon ribbon that I have, 2 different colors from Hobby Lobby as well, to use for the loop. So I pulled this nice cream color, and then I also have the red and burgundy. I didn't know if the red was going to match perfectly or not, so I pulled that. We'll see. Okay. So let's bring this in. And sorry if my head's in the way. I just want this centered. Centered and straight, and just using my finger there to get that pressed down. I love this pairing. So beautiful, elegant, classy, very Christmassy. Now with other projects, you could definitely just reuse your transfer tape, but because this already has a difficult time sticking to the transfer tape, I just wanted a new piece for each letter. So I'm just going to work on this one. Slow and steady. And now let's open up the red and see what this looks like. And if this doesn't look good, then I can use what I originally pulled. Oh wow, that matches. Well, sorry about those lights, guys. So this really matches quite well. Let me see. So for visual purposes here, let me compare the two colors. So this is the red with the foil, and then I have a piece cut out here. Let's bring it through. I got a string. No worries. Okay, so which one? Or I guess I could do both. Mama is I, so maybe, you know, the girl's red and her white, or vice versa. I don't know. I'm really loving the red. I think I want to just do all red. I'm so glad that I pulled this out because I just didn't think that it would look good, but it's actually matching perfectly. And it may be hard for you to catch it on camera because it's a foil. You know, it changes with the reflection in the light. Okay. And here we have the 3 ornaments or gift tags. I also made these little messages for the back side, made with love with a heart, and I just typed that out and then curved it a bit. And I think I made it way too big. So, well, I think I might have to cut that out and make it smaller because I think that's just going to be a little too big. But I definitely want to add some kind of sentiment on the back for just to help remember the memory, or maybe even put the year that this was made, because this is going to go on someone's tree, hopefully, and not just be used as a gift tag. And, you know, year after year, if they get it out and put it on their Christmas tree, they'll remember me and that I made that for them, and it just makes it that more special. Now for the next one here, this is going to act as the same thing, a gift tag for a bag, a gift bag, but in hopes that they can keep it. And I just gotta work slow here because I don't want to mess anything up. This is just inexpensive matte vinyl from Hobby Lobby. Okay, I think I got everything. And I just used a regular Cricut font for this. It's like standard Cricut for their name in the middle. But because I just found the T and I had to fill it in, and this is their last name. Funny enough, actually. So the husband is named Brock Taylor, and the wife was named Taylor, and now she is Taylor. And her last name before, I guess I'll just tell you, it doesn't matter. Her last name before was Hennessy. So she has had an interesting name her whole life. Taylor Hennessy, and now she is Taylor. And yes, it is spelled the same. Okay. So burnishing this down, and I still need to take the protective film off of this one here. But I'm so glad that I picked these up because I was hesitant about them because they were gold and glittery. But creating them as I am, you know, using them as holiday gift tags, this is perfect. This is when things can sparkle and be bright and shiny and loud because it's Christmas. And who doesn't like a little colorful, sparkly cheer? Okay. Let me peel back that backer. See how easy that was compared to the foil? Okay, let me Just make sure there's nothing underneath there. Because I'm not cleaning them off with alcohol as I typically would. Let's see if that's lined up. You know, typically when you use adhesive vinyl or any type of adhesive, you want to clean the surface before with alcohol, whether it's a wall, if you're using those command strips, you know, you clean the wall with alcohol, or with this, just to help that adhesive really stick to the surface. But since this had a film on it, it should have been pretty clean and protected, I would assume. Uh-oh. Okay. And there's a little part that looks like I forgot to weed. And just being careful because I don't want to rip anything. But this is for the tailors. How pretty is that black? Okay, so I think, should we use red again, or should we use this burgundy? Let's just go ahead and use the red. We'll keep up with this theme. And here is an example of how they are going to be styled. I just tied the bow up close to the top on one handle, and then for the ornament, I made them long enough so they could tie a bow further away and, you know, display it on the tree like that, and it would be a nice bow with some little tails. So just make your length however long you want. Just note, you know, what you're going to be using them for. And this is craft number 1. So for the next craft, if you have not seen these at Hobby Lobby, they come in different sizes and colors. I believe it comes in the cardboard and then a white. This is obviously a larger one, and like I said, they come in a variety of sizes, but this was 99 cents, and this is great for treats. So if you want to bake some cookies or, you know, praline, bites, pecan bark, what have you, put it in a cellophane bag, and then you've got this nice gift box. We are going to add some silver glitter puff vinyl to this. I'm hoping that it turns out, because if it does, it's going to be really stinking cool. So this gift box in particular is for my friends, the tailors. We just made an ornament for them. I decided to gift them a gift and then their fur baby. So they have a long-haired Dachshund, and her name is Pippi, and she's a little over 1.5 years old, and I thought that this would just be a nice gift that many people probably don't think about. And when you gift, you know, your significant other, your loved one, your friend a gift, and then you're like, oh, here, and this is for Pippi or Berkeley. I'm going to make another one for another dog. I feel like it's just going to be like, oh, they're going to be like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that, because I wouldn't. So it's a nice change up and a nice surprise and a fun gift. So this here is Teckwrap. They did send over some goodies for me to play around with for the Christmas season. And this first vinyl here, I thought it was just glitter iron-on, and it wasn't. It's actually puff. So they gave me a silver, green, and gold glitter puff HTV, and it'll be my first time using this. It does come with some instructions, your heat transfer vinyl, cut settings, everything that you need for whatever type of machine you have. And this also has the temperature and time. So for this, since it's puff, it says 310 for 15 seconds. So off camera, I'm going to turn on my heat press and get that heated up to 310. And then we will get this ironed on, and hopefully this works and puffs up on this cardboard gift box. While my heat press is heating up to the desired temperature, I'm making 2 of these gift boxes for 2 different families. And this red glitter here, it's an iron-on as well. I used it before on my last Christmas Craft With Me video for home decor. And I ironed it on wood, I believe, and I just really didn't like it. It didn't stick well, and it's just, I just want to use it up. So you'll see a lot of this red glitter And it was, I believe it's that 405 Basics brand from Hobby Lobby, and it's the one that came in that box because I remember speaking on that, how I really enjoyed that packaging. But this is just, it just feels, it feels very thin and cheap, and then the glitter also comes off a little bit as well. So I just want to use it up. I don't trust putting this on clothing. So I'd rather just iron it on some gift bags and not have to worry about it anymore. So my heat press just chimed, so it is ready. I just looked over this to make sure there's nothing else that needs to be weeded out, and I've got it set for 15 seconds. So excuse the extra noise there. I'm just going to lay it down. Okay. And I do see that it puffed up a little bit, but it doesn't look even. Oh crud, that did not work. Yeah, I think it just needs more heat. It's not, the heat's not evenly distributed. So that's what's wrong here. Okay, so what I think I want to do, because this isn't a clothing item, it doesn't really matter if the puff looks a little different. My glass mat can withstand some heat. I really do need to get my heat protectant mat down. Okay, so this is just not going to work. So what I'm going to do, let me think here. Let me go ahead and turn my heat press off. I'll bring in my mini and heat this up and just work in sections. And then I think that that might be able to salvage this craft. Okay, guys, I think that this is going to work. And because it's not on a clothing item, it doesn't really matter. But gifting it to someone, I don't really think they're going to be able to tell that this was supposed to be a puff vinyl and it's messed up, because it kind of looks like snow. Oh, you know what? There's a part of the A that I guess I didn't weed out because I can't really see the A. Let me see if I can. It's just, I did weed it out. The puff just kind of, it seems like it just spread, if that makes sense, because there's not defined, the letters aren't as defined anymore. So I didn't know that puff vinyl could do that either. So I might have to clean this up a bit, but I'm gonna let you see this and how that ended up working. It was a good idea in theory. If I can end up cleaning it up and you can differentiate the letters a bit better, it'll be a great gift, and I won't have to toss it. But we do have another one, and I need to get this ironed down. So this is that red that I don't like. That is just kind of a little stinker, but I just kind of visually center that there. I was kind of way off. And once again, high heat. I'm going to do this on firm pressure, and I'm just going to monitor it probably about 20-25 seconds for each little section. So if I can help you guys, I do not recommend this, and I'll get the box here in a second so I can show you again. Oh, and another thing, there's also adhesive on the front that comes through and then wants to like flake off. So very odd, but, oh, and I lost a little snowflake, but that's fine. I love how this turned out. And I'm getting rid of this pesky vinyl. And here is the finished craft, and I just tied a little bow around and left really long tails, and this is from Hobby Lobby as well. It's the Paper Studio. Oh, and this is the iron-on that I've been using, that I've been referring to. It's the $6.99 one in this box, the 405 Basics, and it's made in Germany. I don't know what else you would need to know. It's in the box regardless. I just don't care for it, but I do like other 405 vinyls and iron-ons. It's just the one in the boxes, or the glitter ones maybe. I'm not sure if I've tried other glitter ones before, but definitely the ones in the box I'm not sure of. If you've come across this issue, if you've used it on things like clothes, let me know, and so I can know whether it's a dud or It's just the surfaces that I'm using. All right, guys, this is the craft. I hope you found inspiration from this. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Since we have our mini press on and heated up, let's go ahead and take care of the other little crafts here. This is a sublimation blank. I really like this one. This is a newer style that Hobby Lobby's come out with. It is the waffle. You can see that texture there. So really nice. You can use this obviously for sublimation or infusible ink. I picked these up and I really liked these. These are iron on and a sticker. So you have two options there. And I'm really loving this Santa Claus, the wreath, and the ho ho ho. That's kind of why I got this. But I've been just kind of thinking I want the ho 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 on here. And this is going to be a gift. I am going to see some friends before Christmas on like December 13th or 14th. So they will still be able to have this out for Christmas time. So I'm peeling this off. Okay, so it does have some paper on the back there. So be sure to remove that. So the backing is sticky. And I want to iron this on so it's more permanent. Okay. And then, do we want to switch that order? I think I do. But I was kind of thinking something like this. No, we need these aligned. That is the best bet. Okay, so I'm going to lay down my first one. And just lining it within those waffles, that grid. And then let's get the white and let's count here. I'm gonna have to move this so I can see it a bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, line it up, stick it down, and then once again, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I think that that is aligned straight. How cute. I love it. Okay. So let me make sure here. It says cover with a cloth and press for 10 to 15 seconds. Turn project inside out. Press the back side for 20 to 25 seconds. Let iron on cool down for 30 to 40 seconds. Check for full adhesion and repeat steps 3 if needed. So, because this isn't my first rodeo, we're just going to get this iron down and monitor it. And I'll try to keep count in my head. Okay, I really applied some firm pressure there. You can kind of see the impressions in the towel. But I think that that was a good impression. It's ironed on, but I definitely felt the adhesive kind of coming through. So keeping your garment open if you use a blank like this or the same blank, and then obviously bringing in the cloth like the instructions stated. I love how this turned out. It is a very fun and cheerful piece of home decor and also a fun gift for my friend. So let's move that aside and bring in another blank here. Recently saw this. So this is something newer that Hobby Lobby has added. And it does have that protective little film on it. So I'll just keep that on there. And I actually had the exact same color purple. Or, I mean, so close to it. Just a little bit darker. And what I did was found the person's monogram. And I cut it out twice because one is cursive and one isn't. I couldn't decide. So let me weed this out and see how this looks. And let's prep our surface here. I'm going to bring in my lint roller. And I think I need a new sheet. This one is well used. So using my lint roller here to clean the surface. And I'm going to place the monogram in the right corner here. So that's my area of focus. Now prep the surface for about 5 seconds per Cricut heat guide. And I actually don't know how much time this needs, but I do believe this needs to cool down a bit. So I'm going to put it on 2. And once it chimes again and turns green, it will be at that lower temperature that I need. But if you're unsure, you can always go to CricutHeatGuide.com and select your heat press, select your material of your blank and your iron-on material, and it will guide you through what you need to do. So am I liking that purple? I think I am. So I'm really having to pay attention to the vinyl around this curve because it's kind of lifted. It's harder to really get a good press, and that's what's not really getting stuck down. So just kind of focusing on that area with firm pressure. And now let me turn this over on my glass mat, and I'm going to apply firm pressure just to help that iron-on get stuck down while it's still hot and it's cooling down at the same time. This is just a technique that I have found helps when I am struggling with parts sticking down. And then we can remove the carrier sheet and place it right back on and iron it down a little more if we need to. Okay, that is pretty cooled down. I'm going to very carefully remove this back. Seems to be pretty well stuck down. And perfect. The area that was causing some problems, it is now adhered and it is done. How pretty is that? Just a personalized gift. And this is the inside of the bag, which I really like. So it's not this color because this will get dingy really fast. So that is just such a nice little bag. All right, so it's been a couple of days and we've got some iron-on to do here. This is puff again. And the last time I used the puff was the pink puff for my Mary shirt that I was wearing in the intro to this video. And I have the white, and I cannot wait to make this shirt. Now, this is going to be for myself. And I've had this shirt from Hobby Lobby for, man, maybe 2 years now. And it's an oversized baseball type shirt. And I'm using that same font, or a similar font to the one that I used for the Mary. This is Varsity, I believe. And I believe that this is actually a Cricut font that's already in your list of fonts available in Cricut Design Space. Oh, you know what? I need to turn on my heat press real quick so that I can start heating up. Now, the instructions for this say to set your heat press at 284, but the Cricut heat press only operates in increments of 5, so I set it to 285, so 1 degree off, but that is okay because our last shirt turned out perfect. All right, so I have it positioned. I'm going to bring in my heat press, and now it says 10 seconds firmest pressure. So I'm going to really put some elbow grease into here and press down for 10 seconds. Okay. And it looks perfect again. Oh my goodness. I love this stuff, guys. And this does say homebody because that's pretty much what I am, even though I travel all the time, all over. I'm primarily at home. So let's bring this up to the lens there. And then you can see the dimension and that texture. How cute. So now we've got a white shirt with a pink Mary. And now we've got this soft gray with the white for the home body. I'm loving my new shirts, guys. All from Hobby Lobby. All right, so an Infusible ink project here on a sublimation blank. I've done this a couple times on my channel before, but recently I found a gray blanket instead of white. So I picked this up and I was looking through some of my infusible ink sheets, and I thought that this would be a fun infusible ink to use. I've never used this before. It's got the stars in it. Her favorite colors are kind of like a blue and a purple, so that's why I picked this. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this turns out. I think it's going to look really cute, but I'm interested to see how the stars will look on this gray blanket. So I use my weeding tool to rip the top of it, but really you just want to tear off the excess with your fingers so you don't scratch what you're going to use, because this is just ink on a thick piece of paper basically. So you don't want to scratch it, because if you scratch it, then it's not going to get adhered to the blanket. Okay, so let's move this stuff out of the way. And what is this called? Galactic Stars. It is definitely an older product from Cricut, and I'm glad that I finally opened the box and found a use for that very eclectic color. A variety of color in that box. Okay, can't find my words. So what do I want to do? I'm going to bring in this blanket, and I'm going to place it in the corner like I've done the other two blankets as well. And then if you remember, I like to have the fibers all going one way. So let's just use the lint roller. And this is the shaggier side. This is the soft side, so that is the side that I'm using. And if you've never used infusible ink sheets or these blanks from Hobby Lobby, just do it. Just do it. It's so easy, guys. Nothing to be scared of. You've seen the puff vinyl twice now on the shirts. And I've made this twice. And you know it's super easy. Okay, so I think let's maybe do it in the corner like that. And this is a request from her as well. So this is protected there by the carrier sheet, but it does say to put a piece of butcher paper on it. And our infusible ink pack does come with that. So what I want to do is definitely put one underneath so no ink seeps through on my mat. I don't think that it will, because it hasn't done that before on my other blankets, but let's just take this precaution here. All right, we've got our mat, protective mat, with butcher paper, the blanket, the infusible ink, with the ink facing down, all the fibers going one way. Let's put another piece of butcher paper on top. And I just Googled this. I Googled it every time, and I think I am doing this right every time, but I can't remember. I need to write it down. We're going to come in at 360 for 60 seconds. And for this project, because it's really stuck down, I'm just going to keep my hands on it with firm pressure. Most of the time with these infusible ink projects, like if you're doing coasters, they tell you to use no hands because they don't want any slippage. But with this, I've done this already and it works fine. So let's actually pay attention here. I'm going to make sure my heat press is within the seam. Let's go ahead and press start. So within the seam, so it is getting a flat press. And I'm just going to stand here with firm pressure for the minute. All right. Let's lift that up. And it does say to wait to cool down because it's super hot, but look at that. All right, guys, if you've been looking for a sign to grab these sublimation blanks from Hobby Lobby to break out your infusible ink sheets that you've had forever, that you just didn't know what to do with, go to Hobby Lobby, buy this blanket, order this stuff on Amazon. It's super cheap and it turns out perfect. Such an inexpensive, easy, personalized gift. So let's just turn this. How pretty is that, guys? How pretty. Look at that. And once again, we did the fibers all one way, right? Because once we start brushing those fibers, the ink moves with the fibers. You see that? So I just wanted it all going one side, the smooth side, so it's nice and pretty, and it's all ironed down the same way. But then when the blanket kind of gets messed up, you know, that's kind of what it looks like. All right? All right, guys. This was I'm so glad. I'm so glad I did this. It's beautiful. She is going to love it. So for the next few crafts, we are using sublimation blanks again. I've got this sublimation stainless steel mug. It's a 20 ounce, so we're going to be using the mug press. I've got the ceramic coasters in the square. Once again, we've got the infusible ink sheets there and our design in here. And I also have the stackable Cricut mugs as well. So we're going to be making those today. So we've got a lot to do here. Okay. And this was just, I made all this stuff and stored it, and I didn't store it away very well. And so my idea essentially is not going to be the same. I'm just going to kind of have to figure this out as I go. I have these crosses cut out in a gray and then a navy. And here are the crosses. So let me just go ahead and cut this group apart. And once again, this is infusible ink like we just used for the blanket. So I want to be careful to not scratch the ink that I want to use. And these are, each cross is 2 pieces. So these are little pieces that kind of want to pop off while I'm, you know, removing the excess. So that's why I'm keeping my hand on them so I don't lose pieces. But if I do, I can just grab it and stick it back on this carrier sheet because the carrier sheet's sticky. So no worries. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a bit so you can see. And I'm just going to continue to remove the excess here. So this is what we're working with here. And they are sized differently. The navy is sized a little bit bigger. So let me get a clean sheet here, and I will start by prepping the surface and then laying down the design. Because I think the 2 navy ones, I think I'll keep as such. And then with the gray ones, maybe I'll just put 1 gray one in the corner. So just cleaning that surface with that lint roller. And this is per Cricut Heat Guide instructions. Even though these aren't Cricut blanks, you can go on there on the Cricut Heat Guide and select their coasters and the infusible ink, and that's when it tells you how to prep for the coasters. So what I'm going to select is infusible ink transfer sheets, and I selected the press as well, and then the material ceramic coaster, and then apply. and it says 400 degrees. So let me go ahead and turn my heat press up to 400, and then it says 240 seconds. So let me adjust that as well, and that will heat up. And then the stacking order, what I need to do is have this for the protective layer, and then a piece of cardstock that's 80 pound, or 4 pieces of butcher paper, either or. The coasters face down, and then another piece of butcher paper, and then our heat press. Let's zoom out. All right, our heat press is ready, and I'm gonna come in with 80 pound cardstock instead of 4 pieces of butcher paper. Okay, and maybe let's do 2 at a time, because these are a little larger. I don't know. Let me think here. All right, I'm gonna put the designs together, so that will be the middle of the heat press. So now turning these over as the instructions state. And now I need my butcher paper. All right, so our 2 coasters are positioned. Come in, place this down, and I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm gonna sit back and let this count down, and then I'll move these aside and bring in the other 2 and get them pressed, and then I'll let you see the reveal all at once. All right, so they haven't cooled down completely, but they're definitely manageable now. And I do want to apologize. I'll try to reduce the background noise as much as I can. My neighbor just started their home, so they actually have an RV, a recreational vehicle. So it's one of those big ones that they drive, and I'm not sure what they're doing, but maybe he just needs to start it up because it's been idle for too long. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, let's reveal this here. Oh, so nice. So, oh no. I guess I didn't prep the surface well enough because there's that yellow splotching. That is why you lint roll. And sometimes I use rubbing alcohol, sometimes I don't. Because I never really noticed a difference, and I've never read that it needs to have rubbing alcohol on it. I just know that the lint roller, but this one doesn't have the yellow like that one. Okay. Ooh, those are hot. Okay, and then that's the soft gray. Alrighty, well, crud. Let's see. I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick up that, but well, yep, you can see those extra little spots there. And that wasn't really noticeable on that carrier sheet to me. And then there's yellowing in there, just yellow spots. So that's why you prep the surface. I didn't do a good job. That is my fault. But I really like how subtle these are. This is her style. This is for my friend Indira. I've spoken about her before, but she's originally from Kyrgyzstan, and so she was raised Muslim and she converted to Christianity. So, and if you know anything about the Muslim culture, they are very religious, and yeah, now that she's converted to Christianity, that hasn't really changed. She's just all about Jesus. So this is for her, and I might just have to I don't know. I might just give it to her and let her know, and then she can do with it what she wants. But this is the next craft and Christmas gift. Very special. We see that gray, that soft gray, and then the navy. And these are just Cricut Infusible ink sheets. And those are the coasters. Super simple. Okay, for the next ones, we've got our stackable mugs. And if you've never bought these, they are $14.99 typically at Hobby Lobby, but I always check Joann's because they have theirs marked down for $9.99. And I've seen that off and on for the past year. And I really like these because of the size. And, oh, what was I going to say? how they're packaged. They're in individual boxes as well, which is really nice. So what I have done, this looks brown here, but once we apply the heat, it darkens. And I just wrote out some positive verbiage here. So we've got thankful, blessed, faith, and grateful. And this was an idea that I saw at Hobby Lobby. They have black cups like these with the same verbiage, but it is going vertical down the side of the cup. And you can do that. It is really hard to cut that kind of stuff with Infusible ink. You would probably have a better result using Infusible ink pens for something small and dainty. But I decided to change it up a little bit, make it my own. So we're using the same verbiage, we're using the same type of cups, but this is an oversized text that's really going to stand out and be the focal point of the cups. And that's what I wanted. So once again, this is for my friend Indira. And I left one to do in front of you guys because this is just such a fine text here. And you just kind of have to hold stuff like this down so it doesn't pop off as you peel away the Xtra. And if you've used Infusible ink before, I'm sorry, you know, it's just, you already know this, but for those that are hesitant, that have never done it before, you know, this stuff can be a stinker. I will not deny that. Based on your designs, the simpler, the easier it'll cut out and you won't have problems. But the more complex, the machine just really does not cut this material well when it's a complex, detailed, dainty design. So you do have the pen option for that, but I really wanted to use the sheets. All right, guys, our heat press is ready, and I went ahead and did the blessed so I can have this one in there and then use this one as a template so I can prep the next one to go in, if that makes any sense. Now just making sure that this is really pressed down, and then very carefully, this is very hot. Okay, it's all the way down there. And now I will just monitor this. This should go for 4 minutes. And once it's done, all the lights will be lit up and then I can open the lid and take it out. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is just prep all the other ones so I can get these cups made and done, because it's getting a little toasty in here. I might have to take off my sweatshirt. All right, so that is still going. My other mugs are done. So let's bring in this one. And I've made one of these before for my husband, and I think I left it in here too long, because the thing about this one is it doesn't really fit, and it's got its own temperature setting. So 356 for 60 seconds. The pressure is medium, and this goes on for about 4 minutes, but I'm not sure of the pressure, obviously. So let's hope this one turns out a little better than the last one that I did for my husband. Okay, our heat press just chimed, so let's open this door here. I need my heat mat. Let's put this over to the side. I'm gonna lift this out. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna set it over to the side and let that start cooling down. Okay, and let's get this pressed, just making sure. Okay, Ooh, there is something in my mug press. There's some kind of yellow ink that I've not seen before, but I don't see anything on this mug. So let's hope for the best here. Okay, dropping it down. Let's close the lid and it resets. And now for this, it was kind of an act of Congress to get that label off. But I just looked up the monograms and then had an editable one so I could put in the last name here. And I just want this design to be on both sides, so I just cut it out twice. And this cut out pretty well. And this is definitely going to stand out on this cup. I really hope it turns out. I need to cut these apart. I love the crackle. All right, so the mug press is done with the little mugs. Now I need to make this, and I was just making sure that I liked the position and everything was even and all of that. So what we've got is the H with the Herrera on both sides. And now I'm going to place it in as so. And let's make sure, yeah. So this is tight. I might have to get, let me get some of my heat tape. So this will ensure that this gets, that this stays down, because it's wanting to pull up, because this is a snug fit. And I am hoping, if you know something, let me know in the comments below. I am hoping that Cricut comes out with a more universal press. I'm hoping that that's what they've been working on, because I need that in my life. Okay. And let's just reinforce this bottom part. Okay. So it's open. I'm just pulling up on this and the mug started dropping, so that helped. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to shut it. I don't think so. Okay, so it is working. The last time I did this, I don't think that I shut it. I can't recall, but I'm gonna set a timer on my watch, 4 minutes, and then it's gonna be done. But I'm going to set a timer just to make sure, because I'm not gonna trust this. Just because this is a tight fit, I just want to make sure I cover my bases and set a timer. Bringing back in my coasters, I picked up this velvet ribbon, and it's near the chiffon over in the scrapbooking area, and it came with these two other colors. I love that mustard and that green. Oh, was that? See? Okay, it just chimed, and that's at 2.5, or yeah, 2.5 minutes. So that is not done. So I'm gonna open it up. It just beeped again. I'm gonna leave it alone. I just opened it, so that relieved some pressure. It did say medium pressure, so I probably needed to do that anyways. But what I'm doing here, wait, is this right? I think so. I want to kind of dress this up a bit. And let's just turn that. Let's turn this over. I love this ribbon. It's so pretty. Okay, so I think, should we tie it in just like a knot? No, we should tie it in a bow. Let's tie it in a bow and then probably trim those wonky ends. So let's make sure that this is secure and taut. Okay. And then I'll fluff out the little ears. Okay. And yeah, let's bring in the scissors here. Let's trim that at an angle. Okay. And then that at an angle. And then you've got a cute little coaster set. Oh my goodness, I'm in love, guys. Look at that. How nice is this? Oh, I love it. Okay, we've got 35 seconds. So prepping the surface here. Let's move this out of the way. And while that's still going down, let's remove the other. So blessed. That one was still quite hot. Oh, these turned out wonderfully. So grateful. Is this grateful? Yeah, okay. Perfect. Oh, wonderful. These are gonna be so special and look so nice. Okay, the timer's going off. Okay, let's lift this up. Let's open this a bit more. Ooh, goodness. Okay. Oh man, I don't understand what is getting on. I don't know what this is. Some kind of residue. It's sticky. Maybe I'll be able to kind of scrub it off. Okay, so I'm going to turn off my heat press. I am done, and I'm going to bring this in. You see that stain in the back? I don't know what that's from, and honestly, part of me thinks it's something from my cat, because my cat was in here the other day and he was reaching his paw down in there because it was on my cube storage shelf. I don't know. So I hope that this is, I'm hoping that I can fix this. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool down and I'll be right back, guys, to let y'all know how this turned out. All right, guys, it's time for the reveal. That looks really, really good. Nice. Very nice. Okay. And let's try to pick this up. So after my heat press cools down, I'm going to clean it, try to wipe off that substance that's in there because this is sticky. All right, guys, what a lineup. This took me a couple of days, but I'm so glad I checked it off my list. As I said before, I hope this is not only inspirational to you, but encouraging. Try something new, grab your old supplies, get that stuff out of your craft room and use it and gift it to those that you love, and try something new as well. Thank you guys. As always, give this a like, share it with someone that needs a little more encouragement or some inspiration. I am just so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Carter Craft. Bye, everyone.